thank you for the opportunity to be able to come along and talk about our event. I'll just give you a little bit of background. The event that we held was a refurb or a refresh of the Warnibald Portrait Art event, and it was run by a planning group that was formed from the fundraising committee for Warrnambool District Community Hospice. Some of you may be aware of of the work that hospice does. It's a volunteer organisation that is self-funded. It doesn't have recurrent government funding. It relies on grants, some government grants, but funding from philanthropics, bequests from families. Wherever we can get funding, we scrounge and pull it together so we can keep the hospice working. Hospice volunteers provide support and relief for carers of people who have a life-limiting illness, so that they're diagnosed with an illness that's going to end their life. Sometimes that might stretch on for years, sometimes quite often it's a matter of weeks or sometimes a month. The carers that look after those people need care as well, and hospice will step in as required to offer some time out for the carers so they can go and do something for themselves, and knowing that the person they're caring for is being looked after. So it's an important organisation, and as I say, it's funded by the money that we raise from the community. So a lot of you in this room would be aware of the Warnibald Portrait Art Prize, which has been held, I think, for about 12 or 13 years. It did go into recess for a year. The last one, which I think was mentioned before, was 2023. So there's a little lady who's not here tonight named Wendy Carrington. Some of you may know Wendy. She's the epitome of the iron fist in the velvet glove. You give Wendy a project, and if she gets her teeth into it, then look out, stand back. So Wendy was offered the opportunity to take on the Warnibald, and she saw it as an event that we could do, and a great event for the Warrnambool art community. So I remember getting the phone call from Wendy, and she said, "We've got an opportunity here. We've been offered the Warnibald. Do you think we can do it?" And I sort of said, "Yeah, I think so. I'll be over there somewhere. Let me know when you've got it organised." But it turned into a much bigger event than was originally planned, but it was a great event. It was held between the 9th and the 17th of May, so just finished a week and a bit ago. It was very successful, and we were very pleased with the support that it got. Not everything went perfectly, but we measured it by what worked well, rather than get too depressed over what didn't work well. So, just to give you a bit of an idea, we decided to take the event on. That was the first step, of course. We pulled together a group of about 4 or 5 hospice volunteers and came up with an event plan, just a rough outline of what it would look like. So we had, on that original group, the starting group, we had an artist, we had somebody that was very good at record keeping, we had some marketing experience and some experience of running art events and fundraising events. We then had to go get a plan together, take it back to the Hospice Committee of Management, because ultimately, if this all went pear-shaped, the Hospice Committee of Management were going to be wearing it. So we came up with a plan. We decided on the venue, which was going to be the Matilda Room. We put together an idea of a budget, which is Helen's area of expertise. She kept us in line when it came to the financial aspects.
I can tell you that was quite difficult at times. It was like herding cats.
When you've got a bunch of entrepreneurs and people that have got great ideas but no idea how to fund it, that's when a good number cruncher comes in. So once we had the basic idea, we went back to the hospice committee management and said, we think we can do it this way. And they said, right up, we approve of the project, let's go. And then of course we had to look at how we would fund it. And we pursued every option, every avenue that we could think of. The Fletcher Jones Foundation supported us with $11,500 early in the piece, and that gave us the foundation that we needed. It gave us the financial confidence to press on with the project. We also, we had funding from the Ellen Lang Foundation. A lot of individuals provided funding. Our objective was that we had all these expenses, and for every expense we wanted to have somebody cover that cost. So, and we're very successful in getting that to happen. I think it's already been mentioned that the Warrnambool community is extremely generous when it comes to putting their hands in their pockets, not just the business community, but also individuals. Sometimes you just have to ask, and they are looking for a way that they can express their community involvement, and a lot of times the philanthropists around don't have time, but they have money, and they're happy to support a project or an event that will benefit the Warrnambool community. So we set about the task of getting the money locked in. At the same time we were developing the ideas, what the event was going to look like. And as I said, it started off to be a fairly small Warrnambool portrait event, and then developing something that went over 5 days with an opening event on the Friday night. And we had not just the Warrnambool portraits, we had what we call open art, so it was anything, including sculpture and all sorts of, anything was on the, any sort of art was would be considered. So the problem then was to get the marketing out there. We employed or engaged a social media company called The Social Connection, because we wanted somebody who knew what they were doing and would do it multiple times a week. So we promoted it heavily through social media. We also contacted every artist and trying to get as many links to the art community as we could. We had Marianne Owen on the committee, and Marianne had a lot of connections through the art networks. So once we had the funding and the marketing in place, then the whole project started to take shape. Then it was a matter of drilling down with the logistics, where we get the screens from, how we get them into the Matilda room. Around the same time, we were offered an opportunity from the Chenoweth family to, they made available Faye Chenoweth's collection of art and said, here, you have it. If you can sell it, then the money's yours. So we then had to set up the Chenoweth collection. And then we basically had a theme for 3 of the days. We had Indigenous art, we had all abilities art, and we had a day that was dedicated to community volunteers. So that gave us the themes that we could expand on and go out and market. So yeah, there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of organising goes into doing an event for the first time, but now that we've done it once, we're keen to go again. Because I should mention that on the Tuesday after the event, Wendy headed off overseas, so fled the country. So we haven't had a full debrief yet, but we will in due course and refine what we do for next year, what worked and what didn't. And of course we'll be looking to get feedback from the people who attended the event, where we can improve it and look to go again. So yeah, that's about it. Have you got anything else to say? Anything to say?
I think you've said it all, but I think from my perspective, what made it such a great success was the people actually involved in that committee. Sorry, I'm short.
That's all right. There you go.
Was the people that are actually involved in that committee. They were well connected. You had people that were connected to the arts, had people that were connected to well-connected people in Warrnambool, that made it such a huge success.
Network.
So that's, networking. I think that was mentioned with the high school project, and that is really important. That brought in a lot of funding, a lot of sponsorship, and certainly through the FJ Foundation as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's very much a relationship-based way of funding it. A lot of it was calling up people and saying, hey, we need you to tip in here. And, it was very a personal way of doing it. But I think from that you get a buy-in from the people that are not just with their money, but there's an involvement from everybody, pretty much, that we spoke to. So, thank you very much.